Welcome to the deep dive.
We're exploring insights from Horse and Chariot, which it's this great source blending old Christian wisdom with some very practical stuff for, today.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. And it kicks off with this quite profound idea, doesn't it? This divine design within the soul, God's masterpiece, as they put it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the central theme we're tackling in this deep dive is what the sources call the order of the soul.
Mm-hmm. A concept you see a lot in virtue teachings, often traced back to St. Thomas Aquinas.
Right. So our mission here is to unpack that. The sources break the soul down into 3 bits: intellect, will, and passions.
Simple enough on the surface, but the key is how they relate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to get into what each part is, and maybe more importantly, why their, let's say, proper alignment is supposedly so crucial.
Okay, so you've got the intellect and the will. They're described as the upper parts.
The higher functions.
Right, and then the passions, they're in the lower part.
Yeah.
And these are always, bubbling up. Desire, fear, anger, joy, all those natural appetites and emotions.
Constantly in motion. But here's the critical bit, the order part. The framework insists the intellect should direct the will.
And the will, in turn, directs or maybe governs the passions.
Crucially, not the other way around. That's where the idea of disorder comes in, when passions start calling the shots.
Yeah.
Or the will just ignores reason.
It helps to see how they contrast this with other beings, like angels, for instance.
Right. The sources say angels operate just on intellect and will. No passions like ours. They're in perfect sync with God's will.
Pure reason and volition, basically.
Then you flip to the other side. Animals.
Led mostly by passions, right? Instinct, appetite. Not complex reasoning or moral choice, as we understand it.
Yeah, and there's that analogy they use, how being intoxicated is like dimming the intellect and weakening the will. It makes the person act more like an animal, just following impulses.
It's a stark comparison, and it really highlights what makes humans unique in this picture.
Which is?
Free will, that capacity to choose. Angels follow God's will, animals follow their nature, their animal will.
But humans are in the middle. We choose.
Exactly. We can aim for that, angelic order, aligning with reason and higher purpose, or slide towards the animal side, driven by impulse and self-will, leading to, chaos.
There's that Padre Pio quote, too, isn't there? About free will being capable of good or evil.
Yeah. But when the will sighs and stands firm under the trial of the tempter, there is not only no fault, but there is virtue. It underlines that struggle and the value of choosing rightly.
Okay, this is all quite conceptual, though.
Yeah.
How do we, picture this internal setup?
Well, the sources give us that fantastic analogy. The soul as a horse and chariot. Very classical image.
Yes, so the intellect is.
The charioteer, the one holding the reins, seeing the path ahead, figuring out where to go.
Makes sense. And the will?
The will is the reins themselves. It's how the charioteer translates intention into control, directing the power source.
Which leads the passions as?
The horses. Powerful, energetic, full of drive, essential for movement, but they absolutely need steering. Unchecked, they'll just bolt, drag the chariot off course.
So the goal isn't to, suppress the horses or get rid of them. You need that energy.
Absolutely not suppress. Guide. Lead. The idea is let your intellect seek truth. Strengthen your will. The source mentions grace here. And then guide those powerful passions toward good ends.
Not just let them run wild. It reminds me of that Maya Angelou line you found. To be human is to be challenged to be more divine. Not even to try to meet such a challenge is the biggest defeat imaginable.
Mm-hmm. A powerful call to that inner work.
So bringing this back to you listening now, what's the takeaway from this framework?
Well, it suggests that being fully alive means living in this ordered way, where your reason and your committed will are actually guiding things, not just being dragged along by feelings.
It's a vision of becoming what they call a virtuous warrior. Strong, self-controlled, yes, but also surrendered to a higher purpose, not just a slave to impulse.
Taking up the reins with conviction, looking ahead with clarity, directing that inner energy, those passions, towards something meaningful. Sanctity, fulfillment, whatever you want to call it, that's the noble work.
Right, so this whole deep dive really circles back to understanding that structure, intellect, will, passions, and the importance of their alignment. It's presented as the unique human path to virtue, thanks to our freedom to choose.
It's all about who's in the driver's seat.
Which leads us to that final thought. If your passions are like powerful horses, bursting with energy, maybe take a moment and ask yourself, right now, who's actually holding the reins in your life?